Alright, this is Ryan coming at you from Duel Bros with a Time Thief deck profile. Alright, let's get started. Alright, first off, we're gonna have triple Time Thief Regulator. This is going to be your starter for the deck. You're going to tribute it to special summon 2 Time Thief monsters with different names from your deck. Then, if an Xyz monster you control is destroyed by battle, you can special summon it back from the graveyard. Bit of a downside, the tribute effect, you have to control no monsters to be able to get it off. Alright, next up, we have Triple Time Thief Winder. Triple Time Thief Winder is a lot like Stratos. When it's summoned, you can add any Time Thief card from your deck to your hand. Has a secondary effect where you can attach a material from an Xyz monster you control to special summon it from your hand. This is one of the monsters you will more than likely try and pull out with Regulator. Next up, we have Double Time Thief Adjuster. Time Thief Adjuster can special summon itself whenever you summon a Time Thief monster. Then, when it's summoned, you can send 1 Time Thief card from your deck to the graveyard. This is the other monster you're going to want to pull out with Regulator. Alright. Next up, we have Double Time Thief Bezelship. This is a monster you're more than likely going to send to the graveyard with Adjuster. Its effect is that from the graveyard, you can detach material from an Xyz monster you control and special summon it from the graveyard. Just a little extra extender. On the field, it has a quick effect. You can tribute it to equip 1 card from your opponent's graveyard to an Xyz monster you control. That is really important with how the Time Thief Xyz monsters work. Time Thief Chronocorder, triple copies of it. This is another card you might want to send with Adjuster. A lot of people run it at 1. I would run it at 2, but I only have 1 copy of Tin Goldfish 2 copies of Tin Goldfish at the moment. My bad, can't talk right. And I just have the extra space. It's got a really good effect that when an Xyz monster leaves the field by card effect, which Redoer does on its own card effect, you can special summon it from the graveyard, then you can tribute it, and the next battle damage you take, your opponent takes instead. So pretty much a little magic cylinder effect there. Alright, that's it for the Time Thief monsters. Now for the tech cards, I have triple Silver Gadget and double Gold Gadget. They have the same effects. When they're normal or special summon, you can special summon a level 4 machine monster from your hand. Just extra little push. Anyway, those are the gadgets. Alright, then we have 2 copies of Tin Goldfish. They work similarly to the gadgets, except it's not limited to the machines. It's just any level 4 from your hand. I would very much like to run this at 3. I just only have the 2 copies, and I haven't gotten around to getting me a 3rd copy yet. Alright, next I have double Danger Mothman and 1 Danger Chupacabra. Danger monsters, you reveal them. Your opponent picks a random card from your hand for you to discard. Then, if it's not the Danger monster you revealed, you get a special summon and draw a card. And then they both have a effect for if they are discarded. Mothman, you both draw a card and discard a card. Chupacabra, if it's discarded, you can special summon 1 danger monster from your graveyard. So, ideal situation, you would want Danger Mothman and Danger Chupacabra in your hand at the same time. Reveal Mothman, discard Mothman, then you can just discard Chupacabra and still get your special summon. Next up, we have triple Performance Hat Tricker. If there are 2 or more monsters in the field, you can special summon it. That's about it, really. That's the only effects you're really going to be using for that. Then, Performance Damage Juggler. First effect, it works a lot like Haribo. You discard it to reduce battle damage to 0. But then from the graveyard, you can banish it to search your copy of Hat Tricker. Alright, now on to the hand traps. I have 1 copy of Ghost Ogre, 1 copy of Ash Blossom, and 1 copy of Skullmeister. A lot of people run triple Ash. I like it at 1 because I find if I have an opening hand with 2 copies of Ash, that second copy is kind of useless. Ghost Soaker is good for getting rid of continuous spells and traps and messing with your opponent's field. And Skullmeister is pretty much Ghost Spell, except it's also a level 4, which means you can use it for your Xyz summons. Alright, let's go on to the spells. We have double Time Thief Hack. Time Thief Hack is a continuous spell that the turn Xyz monsters are summoned. Sorry about the lighting. But the turn Xyz monsters are summoned, they cannot be targeted or destroyed with effects. Then, once per turn, you can target one Xyz monster and it gains 300 attack for each material attached to it. And then if one of those materials is one of your opponent's cards, it can attack directly this turn, which can open up some windows for OTK with Redoer, since Redoer steals the top card of your opponent's deck every standby phase. Then we have double Time Thief Startup. Startup is there to help make your hands a bit more rounded. It's a quick play spell that lets you special summon one Time Thief monster from your hand. If you're in a pinch where you have nothing but Time Thief monsters and no way to special summon them, if you have a Winder, you can search this and suddenly your hand's actually playable. But it also has a graveyard effect that it takes a bit of setup, but it's really good. You can banish it to equip one Time Thief spell, one Time Thief trap, and one Time Thief monster to an Xyz monster you control. Lastly, in the spells, we have one copy of Double or Nothing for OTK. Then we have, in the traps, Phantom Knights of Shade Brigadine. It's pretty much just another level 4 special summon, except it works as a trap, which works really good with Redoer. Then we have 2 Time Thief Flyback. Its on-field effect is you equip one Time Thief card from your deck to an Xyz monster you control, then you can banish it from the graveyard to equip one card from your opponent's graveyard to an Xyz monster you control. Then lastly, we have double Time Thief Retrograde. In my opinion, one of the best counter traps in the game. It negates a spell or a trap, but it doesn't destroy it, it equips it to your Xyz monster, so it's never going to hit the graveyard. Alright, well that's it for the main deck. Let's get into the extra deck. For starters, we have triple Time Thief Redoer. Redoer is the boss monster for the deck, pretty much. Every standby phase, you get to take the top card of your opponent's deck and equip it to it, which is really good because its secondary effect is a quick effect. You can detach up to 3 materials from it, spell, trap, or monster, and you get a different effect for each. If you detach a spell, you get to draw a card. A trap, you get to send one card your opponent controls to the top of the deck, and if it's a monster, you banish Redoer to the end of the turn. Alright, next we have Time Thief Perpetua. Works amazingly well with Redoer. If you have a Perpetua and a Redoer on the field, you pretty much own the game state at the moment. It has a quick effect that you can equip any Time Thief card from your deck to an Xyz monster you control, so you can pretty much put any material on Redoer that you need for any of his effects that you want to get off. It also has a standby phase effect like Redoer, except you detach a material and you get a special summon one Time Thief card from your graveyard. So a good way to get extra plays, or if your opponent manages to destroy your Redoer, you can just bring it back with Perpetua's effect. Okay, then we have Time Thief Double Barrel. Now, this monster's okay. Its effect really isn't the best. You can only activate it if your opponent activates a monster effect. Then it has, like Redoer, 3 different effects based on the materials you detach from it. Detach a monster, it gains 400 attack. You detach a spell, you get to take control of one of your opponent's monsters until the end of the turn. It just can't attack and it can't activate its effects. And then if you detach a trap, you can negate the effects of one monster your opponent controls. Alright, now we have a Utopia package, Utopia Double, Utopia, and Utopia the Lightning. Pretty much just there for double or nothing, get that OTK off, Utopia Lightning there if, they happen to negate that. Then just to give it a little extra boost after that, number 60, Durgus Timeless, has 3 different effects. I've only ever used the third one, detach 2 materials, skip your next battle phase, and double the attack power of one monster you control. You can also skip your next draw phase and draw a card, or skip your next main phase and special summon a monster, but I've literally never used either one of those. Alright, we have the Dreadnought package then. Dreadnought Dreadroid, and I am not going to bother trying to pronounce these names and sounding like a complete fool because I cannot pronounce them. Dreadroid, when it destroys a monster by battle, at the end of the battle phase, you can special summon out the rank 10. Its effect is you can attach a material and inflict 2,000 points of damage. And then you can summon this one using him. He can detach material, increases attack by 2,000, starts off at 4,000, goes up to 6. Alright, and then lastly, to close out the extra deck, we have a copy of Tornado Dragon and a copy of Abyss Dweller. Alright, well that is my Time Thief deck profile. So if you enjoyed the deck profile, please leave a like and please subscribe. If you have a different deck you'd like to see, leave it in the comments. And if you'd like to see this deck in action, the videos of this deck versus the Dark Magician deck should be up already. You can watch that whenever. And hope to see you again. Adios.